Communications Manager.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. So anyone who had a quick look at our forums or our Facebook post earlier will know that we're talking about the combined map today. So as part of Warhammer 2, we are announcing this new feature where we are linking the two worlds together.
Yes.
So the old world and the new world will be in one large map so that you can play all of the content that you've played before on both games all together in this large, enormous Total War map.
As Ian Roxburgh, a game director, keeps calling it, the mega map.
The mega map,
the mega
because it's going to be mega.
Not so, official title yet, but who knows.
Obviously, with a big piece of news like that, we've got a lot of questions about how this thing's going to work. So we've gathered a few questions from the community, from yourselves, some of the key things that we need to know. So I'll start off straight away. Can you just tell us what is the combined map, tell us how it works, and then we'll go into the finer details.
Yeah, sure. You explained it quite well just now, which was basically it's the old world from Total War Warhammer 1, and the new landmass, the new world of Lustria, Nagaroth, Ulthuan, and the Southlands, and all that, all combined together in one single map, and then obviously you'll be able to play as any of the factions that you own from both of those games. So all the old world stuff, all the new world stuff, and of course any of the DLCs you bought for the original game as well, so Wood Elves, Beastmen, Chaos Warriors, so all in one. Just mega campaign, as Ian keeps saying.
So obviously there's a lot of content to get into one map. A lot of questions have been asking, shall we, will we, is a better question. Will we be shrinking down both the maps to about the size of what the old world is now to try and fit it all in? Yeah,
no, absolutely not. So the idea is, essentially we've got to start with one of the maps as a basis, so we're starting with the old world map. So the old world is literally, that half of the combined campaign map will be literally as you see it in Warhammer 1 right now. All the same number of regions, all the same settlements, and all the same factions and AI-controlled sub-factions as well. So that is literally as you see it. Now Warhammer 2, of course, we've got the Great Vortex campaign, which is the big race to exploit the vortex, the Great Vortex up in Ulthuan. That map does not marry up nicely with the old world because it's built on a slightly different scale. It's actually slightly larger than the old world, so than the sort of map area of the old world. There's more, for example, there's more regions in the Vortex map, as it were, the new world map. So we've had to modify that and sort of shift content a little bit to fit it to the old world, essentially. So what you're getting is all of the old world and a slightly modified version of the new world, with some regions removed on the kind of west and south end of the map, but it's just a handful. And of course that'll come with, there'll be a few of the sort of minor sort of one region ownership AI control factions won't be there either because of course their bits of land have disappeared. So, but it's only a handful. I mean, ultimately this is absolutely stupendously large. So a lot of questions have also been on how the tech's going to work for this. So some people have harked back to Empire, where we had the theatres of war mechanic. Oh, yeah.
Is that going to be something that we're seeing again, or is it literally just one big map?
No, it's totally seamless. You won't be loading into different parts of the world. It's literally one huge map, which you can play any of the playable factions over.
Okay. Have any of the provinces been merged together? So, for example, if we were just in the old world, would Western and Eastern Sylvania just become Sylvania? Has any of that happened in the new world?
No, none of that at all. There's no merging of regions. I mean, as I said before, with the old world, it's literally as you see it now. It's the same. It's the same map with the same number of regions and factions and settlements on it. So no merging. No.
Have any of the factions been merged together? So I know that we've got 2 starting positions for each race in the new game.
Yes.
Have they been joined together to limit turn time? Or?
No, not at all. No, they'll still, every legendary lord will still have his own unique start position. There's, I think, one of the legendary lords in the southwest portion of the new world map is losing his kind of start pos region, so we're repositioning him to start in a different place. So he'll still get his own start pos. All the legendary lords are still represented and playable. So,
okay, brilliant. So We've also got a lot of people who don't play on the newest rig. They might not have the best graphics card in the world. They're worried that the performance is going to be a bit of an issue. How will this affect computer performance on lower end machines?
Well, not at all really, because it's still within, like the whole thing is still within you know, the min spec we're going to quote for Warhammer 2, which in turn it really is not going to change much, if at all, over Warhammer 1. So it won't affect, you know, it won't affect, just because you've got an absolutely vast map, you won't see frame rate drops as a result of that, you know. What you will see is a sort of necessarily slower end turn round, and that's inevitable because you're dealing with, you know, around twice as many factions in play at the same time. So you know, that's one thing you will see slow down is end turn time slightly, but that's we think that's a totally acceptable trade-off for the you know, for the sheer scale of this campaign. So yeah,
we're also going to be able to go back to the old world players, Empire, Greenskins, Bretonnia, everything that was in the original game. One thing that's been announced for Warhammer 2 that we've talked a little bit about that we can't really talk about yet because we've got new features coming out, but regional occupation has changed. Races can now conquer any territory in Warhammer 2. Is that something that the Old World faction can do in the combined map?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, any playable faction in the combined map and the combined campaign will get those rules. Will get, you know, so you'll be able to play as Empire, for example, and now conquer absolutely. You'll be able to go and take, you know, Balthazar Gelt or Karl Franz and take them down south and conquer the Badlands, for example. You can conquer absolutely anywhere. We sort of hinted a couple of times that there are some compromises you may have to make to conquer anywhere, because not everywhere is suitable for every faction. Let's just you know, dimly veil it in those terms. But then the reason we're doing that is because we want some compelling counterpoint gameplay, you know, for being able to capture anywhere. So. And actually, it's interesting you bring up territory capture, like universal territory capture, because there's actually a bunch of new features that we're developing for the Great Vortex campaign in Warhammer 2, and those will all sort of transcribe over to the combined campaign as well. So essentially, you'll be able to play, you know, as one of the old world races, and you'll have this extra gameplay, these extra features to deal with and play with to try and exploit for the betterment of your campaign. So yeah, it's basically all the cool new stuff we're developing for Warhammer 2 is all coming into the combined campaign as well.
So if you're playing an old world faction, so you're playing Empire, you're Karl Franz, that campaign is going to feel a lot more fresh. It's going to feel different.
I think it's going to feel incredibly different. Yeah. No, you can't just. It's not just that you can go anywhere and even over to the new world to try and, you know, conquer one of the races over there or take territory over there. But you'll have this suite of new gameplay features to kind of play with. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I hope that's cleared up a lot of questions that anyone's had. We are trying to bring new news and features onto Warhammer Total War. Oh God. Total War Live. I can't talk today, I don't know what it is. I think I'm getting confused because we're wearing the same T-shirt.
Yeah.
That might be it.
Is it like you're looking at yourself?
Yeah, it's like a inflection of my reflection.
I am Dark Mike. I'm your dark reflection.
Thank you very much for coming on. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
And we can move on to our next feature, which is we're calling it the Community Team Civil War. We're having a tournament between myself.
Is it a cage fight between you?
It's not a cage fight. No, it's no holds barred, but on Total War Warhammer.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, we're going to save that for another week, I think.
Right, cool.
If we just switch the camera over to the desk, we've got our two esports commentators, as it were. We've got Grace and we've got James, who are going to be talking about the games as well. So it's myself, Darren, James, and Guy. Not James and Guy.
I'm not playing.
You're not playing?
No.
No?
I'm commentating. I'm giving light into the lovely world of your tactics and skill.
Oh, so we'll just have to get Tom in instead then, I guess.
I think so.
So it's going to be myself, Tom, Guy, and Darren. We're all going to be head-to-head in some 1v1 battles. I'll be playing as the Empire. We'll have Tom as the Vampire Counts.
Guy as Greenskins. And
Darren is the Dwarves.
Yeah, Darren
Dwarven Darren. So stay tuned. Until then, we're going to do a quick replay of the Vision trailer, which you may not have seen. We played it at Rezzed and we put it up on our YouTube channel, but just in case you missed it, have a look at that. We're going to get set up and we'll see you in a bit.
Total War Warhammer 2 is the second game in the trilogy, and it's building off the successes of Total War Warhammer 1. We look at the whole new area of landmass to the west, and we explore the races therein, so High Elves, Lizard Men and Dark Elves. We got some very, very positive feedback from our decision to sort of really try and make the races play differently. So we've embraced that throughout the DLC for Warhammer 1, and we're doing even more for Warhammer 2.
So the typical process of getting a character to animation actually is quite long. So we start with a concept art of what the character will look like. That then gets modelled with all the polygons, and then my job is putting the movement and personality into that character. The elves have been an interesting challenge in itself because they are all humanoid units, so we have this extra challenge of how do we make them each feel and look different. Lizardmen has been a completely different experience than any other race so far. We tried doing mocap for them and we found that they were pushing too far into the human side, so we went much more animalistic.
The Lizardmen have these incredible glittering scaled armies of reptiles which start right down with your basic unit, which is the skink. And then you have the Saurus, who are much more powerful, sort of 8 feet of hulking reptilian muscle. And then you have more specialised units, so you have things like the pterodons, which are sort of flying units. You have carnosaurs, which are essentially T-Rexes that are occasionally tamed by the Lizardmen for battle, and stegodons, which act as mounts, and bastillodons as well, which are often outfitted with an array of sort of magical artillery. So on the battle side, we're looking to introduce more variety in Total War Warhammer 2, and one of the ways we're doing this is by examining sort of different and sometimes wilder new terrain types.
We've got very lush jungle, very beautiful but also very dangerous. Deserts with all the hazards that entails, and all kinds of other environments. So it's really looking to get the flavour the Games Workshop have created in their fantasy setting into our game. So the key locations are Ulthuan, the home of the High Elves, Naggaroth, the home of the Dark Elves, Lustre, a jungle region, and the Southlands, which is a mixture of desert, jungle and other environments.
Bringing a fantasy location to life is pretty challenging. There's not much concept out for the landscapes, so we have to read through all the lore books and decipher all the text and make something awesomely crazy with it afterwards. For the Lizardmen, we have these big, heavy stone structures, but parts of them are floating by magic. For the Dark Elves, one of the key elements are the Black Spine Mountains, and they're surrounded by a large expanse of hardened lava, probably the most diverse area of the map that we've ever had.
So the Great Vortex, which hovers above Ulthuan, is absolutely integral to the storyline of Warhammer 2. Now the Vortex was forged in millennia past. There was a great chaos invasion called the Great Cataclysm. The Lizardmen, as the first and most ancient race, were the first to fight chaos, and they only just held on, but it was actually the High Elves who forged the Great Vortex and managed to sort of preserve the equilibrium of the world.
You can ignore the storyline, the narrative. You don't have to fight for the Vortex if you don't want. Sandbox gameplay is sacrosanct to Total War.
The player can go in any direction they want, and that's going to be enhanced this time because players can now conquer any territory they want.
We have 2 legendary lords per race, each with their own start position. You can play co-op multiplayer with the same race, and that creates all sorts of possibilities, and it's something the fans have been asking for. What we want people to feel at the end of Warhammer 2 is that I want them to feel they've had an incredible gameplay experience, which is fundamentally Total War and fundamentally Warhammer, but at the same time interesting, new, different and exciting right to the end.
Hello Fight fans and welcome to Total War Live. Today we have the community team Civil War breaking out here, and I have my first 2 contestants. I might as well call you contestants. Victims could be another word.
There's only one victim on this couch, James.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to the victim in a minute. Obviously, you're the lowest voted person in this poll so far.
What is that all about? Can I just ask?
So today we are going to be doing a 4-way face-off. We're going to have 2 semi-finals and a final, and it's going to have 4 members of our new community team. So we've had a lot of new faces, and you see there've been a lot of our live streams recently battling out against you guys in the community. We've been doing like CI versus the world, which is kind of a tradition we've had since Shogun 2, and we're taking that and moving forward of it. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of that in the future. But, you know, everyone's been playing a bit of multiplayer. Everyone's starting to think they're quite good. You know, as you would expect, they managed to get quite a few victories over the community, surprisingly sometimes. I mean, Guy with his entire strategy of just taking Terrorgeist.
That Terrorgeist strategy is foolproof.
I thought it was brilliant. I thought, I looked at that and I was just like, right, this is another loss for Team CA. And all of a sudden...
Another loss. Chalk it up.
Here it comes. Time to get even more upset. And then all of a sudden, we smashed them. So, obviously, everyone's been taking a lot of strategy, been watching a lot of streams from Ninja Han and other people. So, yeah, there's a lot of preparation for today's stream. So, with that being said, we're going to quickly look at our bracket to see what the matchups are going to be today in the stream. You can see we have Darren taking on Wheels.
Big Wheels.
Yeah, and then
Big D-Mac.
On the other side, we've got Tom taking on Guy, the slayer of microwaves. And that will be our matchup after this one. This will be a best of one. Everyone's picked their factions ahead of time. So, Michael, what faction have you chosen?
I am playing as Empire, as I briefly mentioned earlier. Going to be bringing those great swords in to just grasp victory before the match has even begun. They'll be grasping it in one hand because they've got them free because they don't need a shield.
That's true. They've got big swords.
Exactly.
So
put that on the shoulder. Victory in one hand. Good to go.
So obviously a lot of our community are very aware of how well Darren can play. So how do you think you match up against him?
Well, now Darren's a history boy. See. So I think I've got a
History
slight
boy.
advantage. He's even wearing a Shogun top, right?
Represent.
So I think I've got a slight advantage when it comes to Warhammer. Hopefully I can use that. Maybe just exploit the magic or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Use something that he's not as familiar with. But we'll see. We'll see. He's got a lot of history.
He's got a lot of history with Total War. There you go. So what else about Darren, except from his history, his extensive knowledge in the entire gaming series, and you know, the fact that he's been around quite a while? I mean, he's probably not going to have as much stress on his shoulder. He's got more people voting for him. More people are on his side.
I think he's going to get complacent, James. I think he's cocky. I think that's where I'm going to come in. I'm going to be the underdog, right? The dark horse. I'm going to sort him out.
Well, let's hear from a man himself. Darren.
All right, how's it going?
Welcome to the couch.
It's good to be here. All right, yeah, I don't know. I've never seen Michael play, so I don't know if he's any good or not. So we'll see. But it's something. He's got a point, definitely. Like, I don't play multiplayer often in Warhammer. I just play the campaign, so I don't really know the strats and the builds that people like to mess about with. I'm still all about the Ashigaru rush. You know?
Ashigaru rush.
So
all right, mate.
But I'm playing as dwarves because they're relatively simple.
Because they're just like Ashigaru.
Well,
really.
they don't have magic. You know, they have runes and it's just more abilities and stuff like that, rather than direct spells and things like that, or flying units. So it's just a bit more tame. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't want to give away what I'm planning to do.
Super strat.
Because he's sitting right next to me. So yeah. Well, you know, I'm only sitting at plus 50% on the vote, so I think I got the community on my side actually for that one. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, it is to be expected. Have been around a while. You're a known commodity to the Total War community. What is your biggest fear coming into this matchup? You're playing as dwarves. You're coming up against Empire, very well-rounded faction. You would probably say top 3 if you were to pick a faction in Total Warhammer multiplayer.
I think for me, it's the fact that Empire can field any type of different lore, like all the different lores that they can field, and then mounted units, the griffins and things like that. So I'm a bit less familiar with exactly how to counter that, and like I feel like Empire are pretty adept at all the different spells they can cast, like to counter what I bring in. So obviously I'm going to be armored, so I'm expecting to see some spells that are going to try and counter my armor. So, but I don't really know what to do to counter that. So yeah, so it's really just spells kind of throw me off, you know, because they can just change the game basically if they're cast right.
It says here to counteract that, it says get good.
Okay.
So I think I put that in your notebook.
You did put it in my notebook, and I still have it to this day.
Yeah,
so
good. So
I
you
look
might
at
have to get that back.
I look at it every day just to inspire me.
To get
good, yeah. To get good.
So what would you want people in chat to be spamming to show their support for Darren?
Ashigaru rush.
Yeah, Ashigaru. Shame for
the
the
emote
spray.
Is that though? we need an emote for Darren. I think chat has to decide one for themselves. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's obviously a green skin one, so that's nice and easy. We'll think of something.
There's that That bald guy in the chat, that emote where he's like shouting, that's a pretty close
Get off the
representation.
barrels. You want that one? Okay.
Yeah, who is that?
Hot for days.
Hots for days. He's got that emoticon is probably as close
Okay,
as
that's
you can
yours. Hot for days has decided what yours is going to be. So
Yeah.
have you got any fighting words before we pass it over to Michael and then off to battle? Fighting words, come on. Go. You're about to go live in front of like 50 million
I'm trying
fans.
to think of a way
They're
to
about
do
to
it.
watch, they're going to chant your name. You've got 15 seconds, go down, time to smack talk.
You're going to get absolutely wrecked, mate. And if you even try to beat me, I'm going to get you fired. I'm going to come after you. No, I don't know. That's all I got. I got no smack talk. I got no smack talk without viciously cursing someone or like really going low. So I'm not going to do that on camera. So unfortunately,
Do
I'm not
not
going to go much further
let
than
Darren smack talk anyone
Yeah.
again. First grudge of the day. Congratulations, Darren. And pass it over to the
Right.
man who you hoped to.
Oh my
There's dropping the mic and like losing muscle function in your hand, and I think that's what you just did there. But anyway, I'm sure you got strong wrists. Michael, what would you like everyone to spam in chat to show their support for the wheels?
I saw someone using a flame emoji. Darren's about to get burnt, so how about that?
And come on,
rating that one.
well, that's good. That's good. But I'll give you another 15 seconds in the same vein as Darren. Give us your wrestling spiel. What would be your smack talk before going to battle?
There's not going to be a pot of gold at the end of this battle for you. All right.
Okay. Oh my god. Dwarves and the Irish in that one.
That's it. That's it. That's all I got to say. Just look forward to coming back here.
You're right there, James. Alright, come on, let's get on with it.
Awful.
Let's get to the battle.
Awful, people. All right, guys, go off to your seats, your systems, your PCs, your battle stations. Go forth and be ready. Yeah, do you want to shake hands? Go on.
Best of luck.
Sportsmanship, everyone. All right, guys, so we're going to go over. I am going to be joined by my co-host for this battle, and it is going to be Grace. How are you, Grace?
I'm very well. Enjoying the smack talking, or the attempts at it.
Well, I will come over there and join you very soon. So we're going to quickly just have a look at some lovely little graphics that Tom put together. Just going to show our matchups today. So, this is Whelan. Do you want to run us through this, Grace? What are we seeing here?
We're seeing someone attempt to look very stern and intimidating. It's up to you whether or not he succeeded on that or not. It's a face that I've only seen him use before when he's trying very hard to think about something. He apparently claims to have held Galmaraz once, denies the existence of Midland, and is Balthazar Gelt impressions in the mirror.
So that is Michael Whelan. So we have a look at Darren. I'm interested to see what Darren's one looked like. Oh, look at him slide in there. 42 grudge cells.
52 grudges.
52. I'm surprised
Don't
he's even got that.
him.
Doesn't understand sound. Fan of holes.
He is a dwarf.
Yeah, I'm happy. It's. I have no words for this one. I mean, that just exists. So luckily we didn't have too long to wait. So guys in chat, who do you think is going to win this one? Spam fire if you think Whelan is going to be able to take out Darren, and spam the bold face.
Twitter poll says that Darren is on 54%, Whelan is on 8%, so he's certainly the underdog.
All right, so going in the underdog, we are live already. They are just setting up their armies right now. So we have Sarah Whelan taking over as Empire, and we have the Dwarfs being taken by Darren. And you can see, let's have a quick look at Darren's army. We have 2 units of Rangers with great weapons, and he has 1 unit of Gyrocopters with Brimstone Gun, which is a really interesting mix up there. Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, very, very good infantry unit. We also have 2 units of Quarrelers with great weapons as well. 1 unit of Hammerers, 1 unit of Iron Breakers. I'm trying to work out if he's been moving. 2 units of Chaos Dwarfs, 1 with great weapons, 2 with great weapons, and what else has he got? The rest is taken up more by his lords here. So he has a Rune Lord, a Rune Smith, he has 2 Rune Smiths in fact, and you can see he's taken pretty much all the spells he can on all of them. So his Lord is a Rune Lord, I get that wrong, 2 Rune Lords, and 2 Rune Smiths. So that's quite an interesting army. I'm not too sure how I feel about the gyrocopter, but we'll see how that plays out. So we'll look over at the Empire Force. Is there anything in particular you like the look of, Grace?
I think that I've heard him use the strategy before. He likes to stretch everything out at the front as far as he can, and then just put a few things at the side, so in case it gets flanked, it won't be that much of an issue. This is his go-to. I think it's interesting to note that up until a few days ago, Whelan was actually planning on going with the Chaos Army, but then decided that he wasn't very good at playing Chaos. If you ask him, he'll say that he really wanted the 4 original races in. That's not actually the case. I think he wants an excuse. So if he loses, he can be like, I didn't really have enough time to practice with Empire.
Is it because in a few practice games as Chaos, I absolutely smashed him?
In all of his practice games as Chaos, everybody absolutely smashed him. But he has that 8%, you know, some people are happy. So here he's got his swordsmen, great swords right at the front. There's a unit of archers further back. You've got, obviously, the Legendary Lord out here. And more swordsmen and some cannons.
Yeah,
far back
enough.
enough.
So
Hopefully enough reach.
So the reason I think he took the cannon unit, obviously this map though is not good for him here because you can see it blocks line of sight straight away. But probably worried that Empire would take, Dwarfs would take some artillery. Empire cannons have longer range, therefore you're forcing the Dwarfs to come to you. And considering they've got little legs, that takes a while. He's taken a general of the Empire instead of Karl Franz.
I did notice that. I would have thought if he's practicing Balthasar Gelt in the mirror, you'd think you would have gone with Balthasar Gelt. Not much continuity there between his bio and his actual tactics.
Well, first off, Darren is moving forward. He doesn't have any artillery, so he can play a bit more of a aggressive style. My idea that a gyrocopter wouldn't be a good idea is paying off quite well. Discovered the Demigryph Knights straight off the back, and he's able to target them. There's not too much range. Oh, but then again, right now, Whelan is not able to see that dwarf army. So he has no idea that there's a lot of range there. So I'm not sure this is a good idea. He's going to have a bit of a surprise.
Either, which is an interesting choice. No wizard.
No wizard at all. And that can be for a lot of reasons, because magic against dwarf is not always that effective, so you don't always want to bring it. Now this is going to be really dangerous, because you can see all the range units at the back here. They're all going to get shots off in a minute, as soon as they get a chance. And this is going to be instantly decide to get back, because they're axes as well. So that was a bad idea. But now he kind of knows what the dwarves have. That artillery place, probably not in the best of places to actually do anything. And he's probably going to have to start maneuvering. This is where the experience of being a more well-rounded Total War player overall in the back catalogue is able to effectively move his army better than, say, Michael. So Michael here is playing kind of like how a lot of people would play against the AI, keeping a very strong line, maybe move cavalry and 1 or 2 units. Darren is able to move his entire army pretty much without any real trouble and keep his formation strong. So he'll feel a lot more comfortable moving forward, where Michael won't.
So at this early stage, who do you think would win based entirely on what we're seeing here?
I think what's really interesting is that Whelan keeps moving this cavalry around to try and get behind the dwarfs. Now usually that would be absolutely fine, but because of this unit of gyrocopters shadowing them the whole time, he's taking a lot of damage. He's losing right now. He's almost down to half HP on a unit of Demigryph Knights, a very expensive and very important unit in this battle. And I think this is just a massive mistake. He should be at least constantly harassing with his lord here to keep this unit away, but instead he's stuck. He's microing one at a time, and that's fine for Darren because he's not really losing anything right now.
Adwar's very good in a defensive position as well, I find.
Yeah, well,
so if he's just drawing Whelan out to attack, then I would say that puts him in quite a good position.
Well, Darren knows that he doesn't have an artillery piece. He knows that the Empire does, so he's hiding behind this ridge so he can't take any artillery fire. And he doesn't have to move. Whelan has to move. And he's fine to just play around with that gyrocopter all day, and he's done a significant amount of damage of it already. You know, that is already worth the spend. 8 kills, but all of those are on gyrocopters. So he's doing a great job. Now he's starting to move units out there, but this is not looking good for Whelan. The early skirmishes are going all Darren's way.
So far it seems like Twitter polls could be accurate.
Could be indeed. Wouldn't that be the first time? So at this point, like, if I was Whelan, he really needs to look at making a move, maybe reform this army, put it into 2 lines, and then march forward and engage that dwarf army.
And you have been giving him tips beforehand as well. You've been, you know, going around to each potential fighter. You've been going over their strategy with them. So he's still making mistakes, having had that arguable expert tuition.
Wow, I think you're kind of just throwing him under the bus at this point.
Throwing everyone under the bus. It's a big bus. Should have given him better tips. He should have listened.
I first of all, I didn't think they would pick a map where there's a massive hill in the middle. But then again, it's not my fault. Anyway, Darren has decided to make a move here, moving away from the shelter of the hill, which is blocking that cannon fire. So now you're going to start seeing them cannon fires hit into these units. It'll be interesting to see which ones he actually targets here, because the units he wants to be aiming at, not these dwarf warriors, but the hammers here and the warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Basically, hammers are just so powerful, so they're always a good unit target. And sometimes it's easy, just let the AI do the targeting for you, but sometimes it's best not to. So you can see Whelan's have to redeploy his troops here. He has some great swords in the center. He has, how many does he have?
Crossbowmen are starting to actually fire and hit things. I called them archers earlier. I was wrong. They are crossbowmen.
Yeah, in fact, Empire doesn't have any archers. They just have crossbowmen and gunners. But you just see a bow thing there, and you just say whatever. Oh, he's coming down for melee combat. Yes, yes, Darren. That's what I want to see. And he's using that, hold them in place, and his archers are now in range. His crossbowmen, if they also have crossbowmen, are able to fire on top of it. So, nice little tactic there. And because he does have a lot more range, this is really going to force the Empire and Whelan to actually have to come forward at some point. He can't just play a defensive posture the whole game. There's a unit of swords here. I don't know what that's for.
Entering the fray again.
Indeed. Once again, completely risky because he's surrounded by range fire. Look at the damage he's taken there.
It's an interesting choice.
Quarter HP already. I don't know what the idea to go straight into a lot of range. I think he's going for the runesmith here. I'm not sure.
Looks like it.
It's a difficult target to take, and I don't see how this is going to go his way, but at least it's giving him a bit of time to decide if he wants to reform. He's moving the rest of the troops forward. You press spacebar there, you can see where the lines of attack are coming in, so he's setting up his charges here. Interesting choice. He's not going to do much damage to that runesmith.
And he is still in range of the quarrelers?
Yeah, he's going to be popping one of his spells. I'm not sure which one. Rune of Wrath and Ruin, so he's taking a bit of damage there, but he's going to get away, and he does have a potion of toughness, so he will get a bit of HP back, and he has pulled a lot of that army forward, so even though that wasn't the smartest move for his general, you can see that it's opened up massive gaps right now where he can use his cavalry to great effect, but he needs to use these quickly to come in behind, because these units here are just easy prey for this Empire army. Oh, I forgot he had Iron Breakers, and those Iron Breakers are going to do so much damage.
I like Iron Breakers.
Oh, they're so good. They're one of my favourite units. Look at that. So it's going to be interesting. This over here, this is going to go the Dwarfs' way, but this fight over here is most definitely going to go the Empire way. So it's where this cavalry wants to come in, and it looks like he's going to throw it down at the Rangers. So this is a good, solid charge here.
Now that these Rangers have been discovered.
Yeah, they definitely are going to be annoying. And he's bringing in his commander as well.
Really closing in.
This is an interesting fight. This flank here is definitely going to go the Empire way. This one here is slowly going to go the Dwarfs way because all his lords and all his spells. But this cav fight over here, this could be really nasty for either of them. He got the charge up, but he's in with Rangers with great weapons, and they can hold their own quite effectively. Not greatly, they will probably lose eventually, but they will do a lot of damage going down. I think he should have looked maybe more for a hammer and anvil, but this is going to do a lot of damage. This flank here is just completely collapsing. So soon you're going to see more and more Empire troops coming into the fray. And this is a very, very close battle right now. That Rune Lord's sitting in the center there, putting down damage reduction. But he's fighting greatswords by himself. That is not a good matchup. The Iron Breakers are going to hold, but they are fighting greatswords as well. So it's all about the spells that are put down. But you can see those demigriffs there. That one unit's been hit so much by the brimstone guns. They've been broken and routed. And you can see his general of the Empire is still quite low HP. he won't be able to regen anymore, so he needs to make a decision what to do with that. And right now, maybe he should go after that gyrocopter, because it's just sitting there. So he's still got some units, still got his artillery, which he's firing into that combat. In fact, he's hitting his own troops with it. Those cannons are hitting his own demigriffs. This is a very even battle right now.
Yeah, I think this could go either way.
Very. I think the biggest worry, at least from Whelan's point of view, is losing his commander. I think he will be alive, but he's going to have to keep him.
I mean, he hasn't been shying back from putting him straight in the fray. Sometimes alone, sometimes in range of crossbowmen. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I mean, there's always that decision of whether or not your legendary lord should be the one directly in combat or not.
Well, Darren put his straight into combat there with his runesmith, and you can see he's just sitting right in the middle there, surrounded by Empire bodies. So he's doing what a hat, basically. That's what to say there. And he's just running into combat. You can see Empire of the January Empire just sitting up there in the sky. But you can see over here the gyrocopters are out of ammunition now, so he doesn't have to worry so much about that. And that artillery piece here in the late game might start to be what makes the difference here, because he's going to be able to constantly punish these dwarfs. Over here, them swordmen are fighting against the warriors of Dragon Pass. That probably won't go their way. And hammer and anvil, the few times you're ever going to see that from the dwarfs, coming in with gyrocopters over here. The backline here, this is an interesting one. He's using his swordsmen and his great swords to try and mop up the rangers. But his demigriffs, one demigriff unit is pretty much dead, but this one here is still alive, and this is the one that might win him the battle. Numbers-wise, we have about just under 200 for Darren and 600 for Michael, so that's looking really good. And he's using his Empire general to come into the battle wherever the Lord is not. He's able to come in with that Empire because the dwarves are just so slow.
They are really slow.
But he needs to mop up these guys here. They're going to constantly be a thorn in his side if he doesn't deal with them. So you can see that flank has been cleared up. This one over here is slowly going his way. I'd be interested to see if that gyrocopter, though, might take a feline at the Ranger artillery at some point. You see that? The cannon here, the great cannon, has killed 82 people. How many of them is his own units? We don't know.
The true question.
That is the main question. This is looking really good
also
for Whelan
currently
right
obstructed, so not really contributing to the battle in any way.
No, not at all. And I'm really worried about Whelan right now because his Empire General is on the battlefield, on the ground. It's targetable by the dwarves, and he has 2 units of rangers with range, and tell me right now he's just going to focus down his commander, and this might be the massive misstep of the battle, and he might lose his commander because of it. He's going to lose his commander, and this might be the battle here. This might be it. Darren might have clinched this one because Whelan threw his commander away.
I do think it's going Darren's way.
He's routed, he's running, but they're going to still get some shots off. Will he be able to kill it? Oh, you see they're trying to change their position to fire. He might be able to rout.
I think he's made it.
Where's his cavalry? He did have some cavalry. He has routed. It's wavering because of the damage. And you can see these guys are definitely going to try and take full advantage of that. Oh, this is still a very, very close battle. But it might all be down to the runesmiths and Rude Lord.
Whelan is definitely doing better than we expected.
This is a huge mistake coming back in with his Lord. What's he doing? He needs to run away. He's going to get shot out of the sky. What are you doing? Look at those axes being thrown up there at the Empire Captain. He's coming down at close combat, but he's going to be fighting against dwarfs with great weapons, and his artillery's firing on top of him. They are running because they're afraid, but I'm more worried about that artillery piece accidentally hitting something at this point. Oh, he put a spell down on him as well. Wrath and Ruin. I think that's a damage spell as well.
Wrath and Ruin's good.
Tired, broken. He's off the battlefield now. And it's down to... These units are going to rally, and this is where it's going to get interesting. You can see those great swords, the demigriffs, and they're firing away, fighting as best they can. But they're just not doing that much damage. What he should be doing now is focusing on the units outside of his lords to kill off these, and then come back after the lords. He's got the momentum, he's got the mobility, and he's sacrificing it fighting these tanky heroes. And this is going to go Darren's way.
Just Pittacus great swords, I think.
And there you go, those cannons have just killed more of his own demigriffs.
Stakes are being made.
There you go, another Demigraph goes down, and I think this is going to go Darren's way, but man, this has been a close battle. He's running.
I think Whelan just didn't utilise units such as his great swords
I think
enough.
this is it. I think they're all rowing. I mean, he's got a few archers right now. But just this death ball of his Runesmith and Rude Lord have done an amazing job of surviving, and that's going to be it.
Wrath of Marine is better when it's not put on a hero, having said that.
Yeah, he did drop it down at some point in some units, but I think he was just trying to do whatever he could to just finish off his Lord. And those gyrocopters are still alive. Well, one of them is. Just flying around at the back here, going after his Lord, I think. But he's done. So at this point, he's decided to bring his artillery forward. I don't know what he thinks he's going to do with it. I think they're obstructed because his units are right in front of it.
It's firing.
No, they're running.
Looks like Darren is pulling through to the final. I'm going to call it.
You're going to call it?
I'm going to call it.
That was interesting use of satchel charges there by his Iron Breakers.
I feel like these Rangers are quite important. Yeah.
And there you go. There, Cole's GG. Well,
In friendly fire.
Friendly fire by artillery.
Perhaps.
What did you think of that then?
It didn't go how I expected it to go. I will say that. I thought that it would actually be an easier win than that for Darren. I thought Dwarves should have had a lot easier time with that. But I think Michael Whelan made some mistakes. Well, obviously he made some mistakes. He made some questionable decisions.
Most definitely. I kind of think he threw the game. Looking at the results screen right now, you can see he had these great swords, so his infantry line one-on-one should be absolutely fine to take care of that. The artillery piece did a crazy amount of damage, but the only thing that was really thrown out there was completely, you know, a bit of surprise maybe, was that gyrocopter. And Whelan really didn't seem to know what to make of that for quite a while. And then, he's got cavalry, he's got artillery, he's got a lot more infantry, and what does he do? He sits there and goes toe-to-toe with Runesmith and Rude Lord.
I think the cannon especially could definitely be utilised. The great swords, there was a lot of potential there that just didn't get used.
He had great use of his artillery into his own units.
Yeah.
I think that was absolutely spectacular. So, so guys, we're going to go over to a quickly. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to go join them and find out what happened in that game. I'm going to need this. I'm going to need this mainly because I think that... Oh, no, it's still there. Just checking. Before I lost the mic. Psych.
Do you know what happened, James?
No. Shh. I got to digest what just happened.
You okay?
Gyrocopter, yeah?
Yeah. Gyrocopters, man.
Brimstone gun, anti-large.
Pass.
Yeah, I took the brimstone version of it because I knew, I thought he'd have a lot of cavalry, take those demigriffs down, and I was just banking on the fact that he wouldn't have too much flying units, and that way that, you did have a manticore actually, wasn't it? Oh no, yeah, Carl Franz on Deathclaw.
Was here. It was this guy.
Yeah, there he was. But yeah, I just figured that my guys could just sit above the Deathclaw or the demigriffs and just like keep peppering them and annoying them. And I turned off fire at will so that I controlled when they fired and just made sure they're always hitting cavalry. But yeah.
Do you know how disappointed I am right now? Do
Why is that?
you know how close you were to losing that game?
I was very close.
Do you know
That's
how
the thing.
close?
So in the beginning, well, here's the thing. You sat back on the other side of that hill, unwilling to move. And I could have just sat on my side of the hill and nothing would have happened. But
true.
For the sake of the viewers out there, I thought it best, all right, fine. I'll come off the hill, off the middle of the map and push into your side, even though I didn't need to do that. And that's where I lost a lot of control and ended up putting all my units into combat. So I could have, holding the hill, if we came to meet on the hill, I think things would have been a lot easier for me. But I knew, I'm just going to walk straight out into his artillery and just try to get the match going, basically. So yeah, coward.
Well, I mean, that's what that's what the Great Cannon was for, though, right?
But before you start making excuses, your Great Cannon, genius to an extent. But how many dwarfs were killed of it, and how many Empire troops were killed by that cannon?
Honestly, I couldn't
in
tell
your
you.
humble opinion.
I was so in the moment. and the pressure got to me. I have to say, the pressure got to me. When I felt like I was in a winning position, I was like, "Oh, you've got to do this now." You know, you can't mess around. And I think I lost my head. My head.
Where do you think it went wrong?
Do you know what? Why don't you tell me? Because I can see your notes, your bountiful notes.
Extensive notes here. I was writing the whole time. Grace as well. We compared notes at the end of that.
Oh yeah.
It just says here, get good. But really, you panicked. You panicked. You just saw his lord, a dwarf lord. They're tanky. They're very difficult.
People are saying, "Oh, Empire Manticore," and laughing. You can get a Manticore as the Empire. Actually, it's called an Amber Wizard. Raise it. All right, get wrecked.
Yeah.
All right,
take that. Chat.
Also, no. I did mistake it just from afar. I thought it was one. Also, I was gonna say a great cannon is anti-large. Dwarfs don't have any large.
Armor piercing.
Ah, okay, right, yeah.
So that's the thing.
I would have went with the one that fires loads, the Hellstorm.
The reason you would take a great cannon, I think it works, is because if you did take any artillery, he would outrange your artillery.
Yeah.
Oh, my notes.
Oh, really? Even the standard catapult kind of one, yeah?
It's the longest firing range artillery is
really?
the Empire cannon.
I thought the grudge thrower
which
was equal.
I like to throw against dwarfs every so often. But yeah, back to Whelan, because you're in trouble.
I'm in trouble.
You have cavalry units. You've got great swords. You've got a flying commander. You've got an artillery piece. You've got archers left. He's got 2 units of rangers with great weapons, 2 runesmiths, and a rune lord. And you pile on top of it and shoot your artillery into it. That's detention. You're getting homework, mate. You're staying late after school. You're going to learn from these mistakes. What are you going to do? You're going to kill all the other units, then you kill his lord. But it's okay, because, you know, we're going to have another one of these. You're going to get another crack.
It's a learning experience.
You were so close.
I was close.
So close.
I was so close.
I voted for you.
I know you did.
I voted
for me.
Down.
I believed in myself.
Oh. I've got to reassess a lot of things in my life right now.
I just want to say sorry to Twitch.
To all the Whelaners out there, or whatever your family.
To all the 9% of people who voted for me.
We are the 9%. All right.
I had no one to prove myself to. That was the problem. It was just you know. Yeah. And yet you had no one believed in me. No one believed in me. So what can you do?
Well, we're going to have to
live up to expectations.
Well, hopefully the next game is going to live up to that, and we're going to have to quickly grab those 2 and bring them in here and have another conversation. So,
well played, Darren.
Well played. You want to bring them in? GG. All right, cool. Well, thank you very much. It was a really good matchup. I really enjoyed it. It was a good match, right? I think it was a lot closer than what everyone expected, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens the next time you guys match up. And Darren moves on to the final.
Thanks very much. See you later.
Team Big D.
Big D.
Keep the mic down there. All right, so our next 2. Join us on the sofa.
Thanks.
Hello. So
this
we have
warm.
Tom, we have Guy. Do you want to get a bit closer?
Squeeze
Come
up.
on, it looks like you guys don't like each other at this point.
You go first, mate. Come on.
Thanks.
Do your worst.
You've been directed by Jess, who's over there doing our production. That's why our streams look so much better these days, if you haven't noticed.
Someone's actually organised it.
Oh, yeah, it's not just me in a basement anymore. We're out into the light, into a room with constant heating at this point.
Yeah.
So
it is warm.
Yeah. I've already lost a stone from being in here just on water weight alone. What did you make of that matchup? Were you guys watching?
That was something, yeah. It was, the tables turned. There was a definitive point where Wheels messed up badly.
Are you saying the wheels were turning in that battle?
I wasn't, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
It's on my list of things to say here.
Oh, you've written it down. Yeah.
So yeah, what's your take on that? Pressure.
Pressure on me.
And what do you think?
Pressure for him. I think Wheels just messed up. I think he had it in the bag. He had the army. His army should have taken it, but I think he threw it away. It was his lord. He threw in his lord too much.
A great strategy until the wheels fell off.
Stop setting yourself up for puns.
I'm sorry. So Guy, come on. Hold the mic.
Earlier than expected.
Yeah. What did you make of that matchup?
So I was sitting next to Darren.
Yeah.
Just distracting him a little bit.
Where you normally sit. It's not like you haven't just creepily decided to sit right next to Darren.
Shoulder.
Yeah.
And I can confirm he was trying pretty hard. Like, I know he likes to give it. How close do I need to hold it?
You know what? There are so many there's so many streams in the past of me at an event where the host has their hand has come through and has moved the mic up. So don't worry, you're in good tradition.
It feels
here.
unnatural to have it this close, but I'm scared. I'm screaming to the people.
Get used to it. Okay, so you're watching Darren over his shoulder.
He was trying pretty hard. He'd activated maximum tryhard mode, and he still nearly got beat despite all those years of experience. So Darren, you need to pull your socks up if you're watching.
Yeah. And people think he's on my level. I mean, seriously.
No way.
So you've got a matchup today. You're in our second semi-final. This is the CA Civil War. You guys almost came to blows yesterday in the kitchen over donuts. How do you think you match up against Tom?
Well, Tom's an okay player, to put it nicely, but I just don't think he's really got the tactical know-how to overcome me. That's
wow.
That's all I've got to say on the matter.
Okay, and I'll pass it over for
this way.
Thanks. How do you match up against the destroyer of microwaves, the crusher of burritos, company-wide emails all round? How do you think you match up against this man?
All I'm going to say, Guy, is enjoy this game because you're not having another one today. Just saying. This is his last game. You're going to lose. I'm highest on the ladder or the leaderboard for Total War. Just saying. No. Out of us, well.
It all comes down to how we perform on the battlefield, mate.
You're going to lose.
Painful.
It is painful, and he's going to lose.
So, your
I'm
faction
Vampire
today,
Counts.
Vampire Counts.
Yeah, big fan of Vampire Counts.
He likes Vampire Counts. In our stream, he takes Terrorgeist and wins games. So, I mean, you're taking his faction away from him.
I suppose I am.
So you feel comfortable playing Vampire Counts?
Yeah, I enjoy Vampire Counts a lot. My alternate is Greenskins, which is what he is. So we
Can I just say,
you can just take the mic, Jesus.
He was trying to take my main faction away from me because he knew I was the biggest threat in the tournament. This guy plays dirty. What can I say? That's all you need to know about the Tomahawk over here.
Okay, so you're going to be playing as Greenskins. Keep the mic. God, we're having homework, mic training coming up next. On this list of things I've already got down, that's a massive grudge.
Big list you got there.
Yes, huge. You put me off now. That's going on the list as well.
Well, I'm just ready.
No.
I'm ready to get down.
You're playing Greenskins. Why Greenskins, and how do you feel a matchup against Tom?
Well,
that's two questions.
I picked Greenskins because I knew it was Tom's favorite or second favorite faction, and after he screwed me over with his pick, I thought I had to return the favor. And Greenskins are just an all-round strong, versatile faction. Because a few people might have seen me on the stream with my copyrighted Terrorgeist build, but I wanted to show something a little bit different to the people today.
All right, cool. So you've got 15 seconds to smack talk your opponent. Please, for the love of God, do better than the last two.
I don't need 15 seconds. All I need are these words from a famous video game character. I'm gonna win.
What was that? This is bad. The thing is, I've already done my fighting talk. I've used my line.
Do it again.
I can't use the same line.
I've got a Nerf gun under that desk.
Oh, please don't shoot. It hurt earlier. You did hit me in the face.
Right in the forehead when we were setting up.
Did hit me in the hair and face, yeah. But I can't use the line again, so I've ruined myself. But it's fine because I know I'm going to beat you, and I don't care. It's fine.
Wow.
There's no fighting talk. Let's just get down to it.
Can we have a face-off like UFC style? Go on,
with the mic.
Okay, come get together. Yeah. Stand up, for God's sake. Can't be intimidating.
No,
obviously can't get on camera, but that's fine. All right, guys, head off now. Get ready. Host that game. Get me in. Right. Okay. We're going over. We're going over now. We're going to play. My list is here. I'm ready.
We're back.
What did you think of that? I thought that was terrible.
I hope that their playing is better than their trash talking.
Well, how would you trash them? How would you 15 seconds. I want you now pretend to be Tom.
You know, I'm not in the game. I save myself for when I join in a grudge match. I don't want to use up all my best material in advance. Like, I'm going to need that.
Okay. So future.
Also, it'll just be puns everywhere.
Also, more importantly, if we over on the sofa, I can become Tom at some point because he has left his phone and his wallet there. So, have you come in for something important?
We assumed you were coming back for the personal items that you left on the sofa that you might want at some point.
Yeah, you might need those.
Have you found it?
I haven't done anything.
Battles.
I know how I can.
GBT.
Which one is it?
GBT.
There's a lot of 2v2s, mate.
This one.
Yeah. That's the password.
Is it the same as last time?
I know that password.
Yeah, don't mention that.
So
yeah,
in
please
the
get your so unprofessional, Tom. We were a well-oiled machine until you came in here.
in the Twitter poll,
That's not the right guy.
Guy got 15% and Tom got 23%. So technically, Tom has the audience support, but it's very close.
So who do you think is going to win this one?
What?
Just follow that one for a second. I can't find that game.
Oh, there we
here
go.
we go. I like this.
What a face.
So run us through this, Grace. What are we seeing?
Guy is apparently considered the best, although I am skeptical of some of the claims that are made in these cards. Has over 30,000 teeth and hates stunters. So that's Guy's rundown. Also, interesting facial expression. And Tom, who looks really like the presence of the camera really confused him. 40 gallons of blood consumed. A-level in advanced necromancy. No degree, didn't follow that one to university. And over 1 million zombies raised. Although that could be because a lot of his own troops died. We just don't know. So those are the stat cards. That might give people a better impression of what we're facing here.
Yeah.
Who's yours? Based on what we know right now, based on whatever that was over there, who are you going for to win?
I am going to go with... Oh, it's such a difficult one. They're evenly matched, and they picked my favourite map, Doom Keep, because we all know how much I love Doom Keep. So I want the orcs to win. I love the green skins, so
Okay.
I'll go with the Slayer of Microwaves, the one and only.
I do love Arachnorocks. I will say that.
I think so. So just
Love a bit
quickly,
of Ragnarok.
I think
cute.
if I'm looking at this objectively, I would say that I would suggest Tom is most likely to win via his setup. But let's have a quick rundown and have a look at what everyone's
First of
got.
all, are we giving chat the power to vote again? Are we giving them emotes?
Well, I mean, it's quite obvious who we're going to get one with this. So if you're a green skin lover,
Yep. I think that's
spam
already been
the orcs.
shown there.
But what do we have for vampires? Give us a vampire theme something, chat. Come on. We want you to spam something vampire-ish in chat, and then we'll take that one. Vampiric. That's the word, isn't it?
That's the word.
Are you good with words? Are you?
No, I'm terrible. I hate words.
Yeah.
Just
like me.
Ragnarok, that's what I like.
So the battle has started. Just a quick rundown of Guy's army. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units of Black Orcs. Definitely skimping on the armor piercing and armor there. He has Grimgore Ironhide, my second favourite greenskin. Behind him he has a Knight Goblin Shaman, and he does have Sneaky Stabbing and
Arachnarok Queen.
Itching, and he does have the one and only, because you can only have one and only, the Arachnarok Queen.
I love her.
And it looks straight off the bat, Tom has sent out 2 units of Felbats, so that's going to be him scouting. He has nothing to worry about because there's no range on the greenskin army at all, which is going to probably come back to bite him at some point. Get it? There's just a lot of orcs in there. I like that.
And it will take anything that's not an orc as a vampire, can't emote.
So straight off the bat, Tom is just coming forward. He's got Shot Cav, he's bringing in his Reavers. He has 2 units of Black Knights with Lance and Barbing. Below that, he has 4 units of Skeleton Spearmen. His main line is made up of Graveguard, and he has 2 units of Crypt Horrors. His Lord is Vlad von Karstein. Look at that guy there. Walking.
Felbats are already getting involved.
And he also has a Necromancer, and that's his army. Yes, what's he doing with his Felbats?
They look like they're just trailing after the greenskins, to be entirely honest.
Well, he has nothing to worry about because there's no range, so he can just keep them above him the whole time.
Just to intimidate them. Pure
so
intimidation tactics.
It's going to be an interesting one because he has a large amount of anti-infantry. So he's going to be... those Black Orcs are going to do so much damage against this main line of vampire counts. The big worry is... that cavalry, though. He has nothing really to do anything
He's got his
against
black knights coming around through the trees. Looks like he's trying to flank Guy.
Yeah, he's pulling back. You can see. So what you're going to look at here is this engagement probably going to come up here, try and hold them in place, use those spiders to deal with that spider. Use the spearman to deal with the spider, and he's going to try and bring his cav in around the rear. So it'll be interesting to see if Guy can resist that.
Seems that has Tom gone with no blood knights?
No blood knights at all. He's gone for 3 units to cav. Blood knights are really expensive, and that's probably why. So he's thrown in his Ragnarok spider, queen, and
some hatchlings.
Where have they gone down? Oh yeah, he's put them right in the middle there, really just to stop any other units coming in. A lot of his units are they're really spread out here. They're too far away from where the rest of this fight's going on. So this is awkward. But you can see there's one of the spells going down. That's each nuisance will affect their melee attack and weapon damage. So this flank over here is shattering already. So this is really, really good for the greenskins here. You can see those Felbats have gone after that Night Goblin Shaman. That's a really good engage, actually, and that might pay off quite well. This fight, though, will be quite a different one. Crypt Horrors going in against Black Orcs. The only thing that's going to make this fight go his way is the fact his cavalry are going to come in as well. And you see he's got another unit coming in.
Yeah, I was going to say Black Knight's starting to join the fray.
But over here, this is the problem. His Grimgor's in combat. He's got a lot of his units of Black Orcs here, and his spider is pretty much untouched. So this fight is going to go in the favour of vampire counts, but the bigger fight here is going in the favour of the greenskins right now. So this is a really close battle, Grace.
I like they're both actual legendary lords this time as well. You know? I like to feel like I'm rooting for Vlad, I'm rooting for Grimgar. I'm not rooting for, like, Empire General.
Yeah, and you
I'm
can
not okay with that.
You can see that hammer and anvil we were talking about before has made an impact, and that unit of Black Orcs has broken already, and no real damage has been taken to these units here. I'm just drawing so much now it's getting in the way. Look over here, those Felbats have done a great job at targeting out these Night Goblin Shaman, and this is what happens when Orcs don't take a range cav unit. They're not able to respond to flying units, and stuff like this happens. And this is a big loss. Not the most expensive unit in the game, but a Night Goblin Shaman can be really, really important. And it really comes down to Guy needs to keep his army together as best as possible, and just fight it out here, and hopefully hold off against cav charges. There's another itchy nuisance. He managed to get that off, because you can see his Night Goblin now is surrounded by infantry a lot better. So guys in chat, how do you think this one's going? Do you think the greenskins and Guy's going to take it, or do you think that it's going to go vampire counts away? Right now, numbers-wise, 500, just over 500 for the greenskins, and just over 1,000 for the vampire counts.
Although greenskins did start off with less, vampire counts did start off with more.
Indeed, you can see. Where's Grimgor here?
Where is Grimgor? He's here.
He is fighting away with his Black Orcs, and he's put standing ground on Wargs. That's a massive increase in melee attack here. And you can see Tom's decided to get a charge in with his cav right into the side here of Black Orcs. That's a good solid charge. I think he could have probably took a bit more time to go round here, but this is just a slogger knocker of a battle here, and this is the kind of thing that the Orcs like. So I think if anything is going to turn this one, it's going to be the fact that Ragnarok Spider has had no damage done to him at all.
There's no anti-large either on vampire.
Not as much left, I think, if I remember correctly, or I might be wrong. Yeah, he doesn't have any anti-large left, and Grimgor is one of the most effective melee legendary lords in the game, and he just chomps.
True to law.
True to law.
There'll be an entire army destroyed, but as long as Grimgor's alive, he will go in.
Yeah. So, obviously, you don't have to worry too much about fear when you're playing as vampire counts, but it's definitely going to play an effect. But he's still got this cavalry. His cavalry is still doing quite well. Oh, look at that. Brilliant raising of the spider hatchlings there, blocking that charge, because it was going to go straight into the side of the Orcs once again. Raising them there, block that charge, and now they're going to trade
back.
Black
Orcs here.
Yeah, he does. This is where micros are really important. And because this is a big messy fight here, that itchy nuisance that he keeps dropping down is playing dividends for the Orcs. It hit pretty much everyone in the space here.
I like the spider hatchlings.
Indeed, but the Orcs are getting surrounded, so that is a big, big problem. So this fight, as it goes on, they are getting shaken. Those Crypt Horrors are chomping their way through the Black Orcs right now. They're not going down at all. In fact, they're doing an amazingly amount. They regen armor piercing and they do poison attacks, but they're just not being targeted out. So they're doing really well. And that Night Goblin Shaman is in combat as well. I don't know how I feel about that.
Good to call it right now.
I think Tom has the edge here.
I agree. I do think Vampire Counts are pulling through.
The thing that's edging it for me is that Necromancer's staying out of combat, so is Vlad. I think Vlad could probably get in there, but he has all the mobility because he still has that cavalry. And there you go, finally gets a good charge into the side of them Black Orcs. And you can see there are just units here which are just not engaging. And you can see this fight right now is just red everywhere, as you just see Vampire Counts of all persuasions. Zombies, Skeletons, Graveguard, and Cav are all there.
Is that another issue?
Yeah, he'll just keep dropping that down, and that's what he's going to go for. And those Black Knights are doing a lot of damage here, really just hammering into the side of those Black Orcs. And this is, you're starting to see some of those routes coming down. This fight is prolonged and dangerous, and those Crypt Horrors are really just making the kind of money worth as the damage they've done. This is a complete surround right now. This is going to be it for the Greenskins. They're in deep trouble.
This looks like a massacre. Except this Ragnarok Queen holding out, doing her best.
But that numbers game is massive right now. 200, just over 250 for the Greenskins, and Vampire Counts are still over 1,000. And this is where they're starting to break now, and this is not looking good at all. Grimgore doesn't care, but the rest of his army does. So you can see him just surrounded here. They're just hemmed in on all sides by the Vampire Counts. This is going Tom's way.
I agree. I think there's very little Guy could do at this point.
He is completely surrounded. This is a massacre. And even more zombies are joining the battlefield, just if you didn't think it was bad enough. Here's some more.
And he doesn't even have Vlad involved in melee. Just got him out to side casting. He's not bad in a melee lord. It'd be interesting to see him take on the Ragnarok.
Gonna need something. That Ragnarok is just gonna stay there, but the rest of the army is fleeing. That Night Golem Shaman is just stuck there in the middle. I don't even, where is he? He's somewhere in here. He's not doing what, there he is, down there. He's gonna decide to run as well. I don't think he needs to be there anymore. Well, I think everyone in chat knows this is gonna go against them.
Quite a quick battle compared to the last one. Not as close.
It's just under 10 minutes.
Yeah, but I feel like in 10 minutes since the last one, it was still kind of like, this could go either way. I feel like right now, this is going away.
I think he kind of sacrificed his flanks quite quickly, and that is painful. People saying he obviously can break, but he's pretty much holding his ground as it stands right now.
Ragnarok Queen doing her best.
Pretty much full HP. Yeah, it's not gonna. It's just a numbers game at this point. You can see the power bar is dramatically in the favour of the Vampire Counts.
Yeah, but just Grimgore on the Queen holding it down. Where's Grimgore? There he is.
This is just holding on, really. Grimgore doing best, but you can see his morale starting to go down.
No Foot of Gork.
No Foot of Gork, obviously didn't take that. He wanted to go pretty much for a heavy infantry build, but there wasn't really that much for those Black Orcs to chomp through. Obviously did a good job against the infantry, but yeah, I think a unit of Cav would have been good here, but there's loads of things he could have done. But woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Looking back, he should have some lessons learned from this.
Yeah. Is it detention or just homework?
Detention.
Detention.
This is, he could have done better. Definite could do better next time.
Well, in chat, I'm not seeing many green skins faces anymore, so I got a feeling that maybe you've...
a lot of sad faces.
Yeah, sad faces, definitely. Maybe Grimgore's just going to win this on his own, because he is doing a good job with him and his spider buddy.
That's all you need. Spider buddy.
Spider buddy.
Fine. Just get in the back and ride off into the sunset.
Well, the Black Orcs have given up the fight. They're going to leave this git to his fate. Sod it, they say, and leave. I'm just surprised how long the spider's going to survive, but...
I'm so impressed with this Spider Queen. She's only losing slightly. She's been fighting a good fight since the beginning.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what he's targeting, actually. Yeah, a Foot of Gork here would be gorgeous. If he had a Foot of Gork. Spoiler, he doesn't. Yeah, no Giants either. I mean, there's a lot. The Orcs have obviously can bring quite a lot to this battle, but you know what? Some of those units are starting to rout now. Could Tom throw this?
Could Grimgore and the Ragnarok Queen pull a victory through against all odds, against the Twitter poll?
Black Orcs just went flying. See you later, mate. Welcome to the party, though.
Grimgore just stole us this entire army.
That's what he's for. There you go.
This is Tom's to lose.
This is well, I can't see how he could lose, but
That's what I mean.
I can't imagine it right now. But yeah, doesn't have any large. That unit Black Orcs has decided, you know what, we're not going to involve ourselves in this fight anymore. We're gone.
Right.
See you later. See you later,
Enjoy.
boys.
Oop.
There is some crumbling going on here.
Wavering.
Oh no, talking to wavering.
Yep.
Ragnarok Kreen
Yeah,
and Grimgor.
she's hitting the limit.
Is this it? Is this it? Vampires don't rout. Yeah, they don't. But they do crumble, don't they? This is looking good for Tom. He might finally get it.
She's doing her best.
No more babies for her to pull out on the battlefield.
Putting up a very good fight. I'm impressed.
She's tough. I'd vote for her. Can we just vote for the spider instead of
The true victor.
Guy instead?
She's too good for this army.
This guy's sitting up there. Well, this is a bloody battle.
Oh, there we go.
But there you go. It is over. Wow. So what do you make of that one?
I mean, I expected Vampire Counts to win. I didn't expect it to go that quickly. It's kind of everything went 0 to 100, escalated. Grimgor, Ragnarok Queen, holding out, doing their best, true heroes of the match, in my opinion. That was just valiant defeat, not even a close defeat.
The two units of Crypt Horrors definitely made their presence felt there, and also the two units of the Black Knights and the Reavers are definitely what you needed. So, but you can see lots of kills came in for everything else, but a pretty one-trick pony army from Guy. But I'm going to go over and have a chat with them now because you know they've got a lot of problems. And class is in session. Oh, coming over
Bye,
here.
Grace. See you in a bit, Grace.
Oh, it's a bit of a walk.
I'll see you in the final. Guy won't, though. Just saying.
Guy, what was the plan?
So,
Took a lot of Black Orcs.
So after my Terrorgeist strategy working so well in the past, I decided. Oh, I knew that Tom knew about it, so I thought he would go all anti-large. But he did build balanced enough to counter my cheese. I probably should have. I thought about it a lot, and then I just went with the dumb thing, which yeah, I know. It's got to be done sometimes. You just got to do the dumb thing and just try and cheese someone out. I'm sure the Total War community knows about that. I've seen that on the quick battle ladder anyway.
So you thought the best way to everyone's been talking about like secret strats and you keep hearing
the mind games,
and you were just like, you know what, I'm just gonna take a cheese army and hope he overcomplicates his army and you just walk through it.
I was in the pre-match. I was giving it all that about how I had a really nuanced strategy, and then I was hoping that was gonna fake him out, and then I could just go for my cheesy strategy, and it would be like pulling his pants down in front of the whole streaming audience, but it didn't come off, and now look whose pants are down.
Guy, never change. No, keep like we have decided, me and Grace, that you are to be given detention.
Oh wow!
For your cheese. Your cheese build.
For crimes against humanity.
Crimes against greenskins everywhere. But it was a terrible attempt. No, it was a valiant one. It was really close. You learned a lot.
You don't have to lie to me.
You did. No, I'm joking. It's terrible. What was that? Like, seriously. Okay, it's okay. Yeah, pass it over to the guy who just crossed you.
Hi, Guy. Hi, James.
Oh, my long list of things to ask you. Number one.
Yep.
Mind games.
Mind games.
Playing with
what with the bats at the start?
Not that.
Bit
just
of everything.
Talking a bit before the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Saying
Yeah.
Got his build sorted out.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You think you were playing a bit of a pre-game psychological warfare?
So I've got a vampire build that's similar to the one I put out. That is just it does me very well. Very balanced. Handles anything. But I know you love the spider. You love the spider too much. So that's why I had some spearmen at the front. Something to try and take it, but that's why it was so hard at the end because I had no anti-large. I was just like hitting nothing. Yep. Like it was no. I was thinking you could still turn it around just with those two units because I was just doing no damage for ages.
You had too many necromancers. You had too many necromancers, didn't you?
No, I just had one and Vlad.
Well, too many zombies coming up.
No, all the zombies. I used all the zombies possible, which is always needed.
Always, because you're playing vampire counts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely. So you went after the bats. Bats came out.
The bats came out. I like the bats because they're versatile. If he's got any ranged units, I can counter them. He didn't, so I just flew them over you to try and like get you a bit scared. And I was going for the hill, and I won the hill, the initial hill.
Yeah.
Put my horses on there, try and keep him away. He didn't, so I did all right.
You think
it was okay?
You like your build, Dan?
Yeah, I like that build.
Nice,
That's a solid build. I thing is, I didn't think about the next stage. I didn't really think about the final. So I mean, I don't know what to do for this next one.
Yeah.
Like what build to go with, because Darren's just seen that one.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be an interesting battle. So some final thoughts then, Guy. Lessons learned from this. What are you going to have to do now? And the first lesson you're going to learn is get that mic closer to your mouth. There we go. Cool.
The bats worked okay, actually. I deliberately didn't take range because I knew you were going to take those. But they spooked my wizard a fair bit. But ultimately, the shaman stayed in the fight and kept dropping off. I got all my spells cast, which I was quite happy with. And I kept it very simple because I know my micro is not the strongest part of my play. But I think I probably oversimplified it and under-egged my abilities there and just went for the really easy strategy.
Under-egged?
It's the opposite of over-egged, James.
All right, I guess. I'll let you have it. I mean, because I couldn't give you a game, so I mean, it's the only thing we can give you really at this point.
But I'll keep training. I'll be back for the next one, and this time it will be a little bit less cheesy, but still a little bit of cheese.
Thanks, guy. I forgot his wizard routed from the bats. That was hilarious. I enjoyed
think
that a lot. He did. He routed straight away. No, but then he came back. But he did initially rout, and I chuckled to myself.
So, Guy, I'm sorry, but you've lost, and you now have to leave the room.
What are your parting words?
Parting words, yeah. To your fans, your legion, the fans of the Greenskins that you let down. Look at them in the face. Look at that camera. Look at that camera, and apologise. Apologise,
guys.
That one, that camera, not the one I'm pointing at. That one now, yeah, that one. Apologise for the Greenskins global.
Don't give up. Don't let anyone tell you to do things differently. Keep doing it your way. Eventually, you'll come out on top.
Now, can I just call out that someone just said I was minimum good player? I'll take that. Minimum good player.
Minimum good player. I like that.
Legend.
I need you to do one more task for us.
What's that?
I need you to bring in the McNally.
Ooh, D-Mac himself.
Get him in.
The Mac Daddy.
It's time for a final.
Bring him on.
So Tom,
what
you're
now?
in the final.
Yeah.
Did you think
True
that was going to happen? For what's in the box, you win what's in the box. Remember.
I do know what's in the box already, so does that really part of the
they
fun?
don't.
They don't.
So
that is the
quiet.
main thing. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't. You don't know what's in here, and we're not going to tell you until the end. How do you think you match up against Darren?
And
the dwarfs.
My army that I've got, I haven't lost against dwarfs yet, but there is always room to lose.
Yeah,
it's probably going to happen. I don't know. I think I watched Darren. I've never watched Darren play Warhammer. I've watched him play the old ones, but I don't know. I think I've got a chance.
Got a chance?
Yeah.
Got a read on him? Do you think?
Here he comes.
Take a seat.
How's it going?
It's gone pretty good. Well, actually, no.
Congratulations.
That last game was slightly painful. Seeing Greenskins laid low like that.
Well, I only watched a little bit of it because I'm doing work. But
how dare you work at work?
But yeah, no, I saw the build he took before he did, just Black Orcs or whatever.
Mm.
It's just stupid, isn't it? So it's just ridiculous.
Jeez, good analysis.
Just get some rules in place
breakdown.
that you have to take, like.
You don't have to, but you did.
Amounts. Yeah, no, he doesn't have
to. We need to stop this now before it actually becomes a HR incident for bullying. Okay. All right, so you're in the final for CA Civil War,
obviously.
The very first one we've done.
Mm-hmm.
Going up against Tom.
Yep.
He's got vampire counts, you're dwarfs. How do you think you match up?
Well, vampire counts are my favourite faction. I think they're the easiest to play, despite their lack of range. But yeah, I don't know. They're quite powerful magic, really powerful monsters, super powerful cavalry if you take Blood Knights. So they're very versatile. So I don't know. A little bit worried, I guess, tiny bit, because I'm not used to playing dwarfs. But I don't know. Should be fine. I'm used to playing vampires, so hopefully I can know what he can do and counter that.
All right. Have you got any fighting words for your opponent? You got 15 seconds.
I don't. As I was coming in, I was like,
Seriously?
God damn it, I have to think of something again. I just got nothing.
Words,
apart
what
from
are they? You know?
Yeah, I
Come
don't
on.
know. I believe Shakespeare said that.
What words, what are they?
Yeah,
I don't know. And did that.
Yeah,
But that
just-
was drawn on to his whatever we was doing.
But I'm a little bit hurt, you know. I brought Tom into this studio under my wing, so to speak, and he's here sitting on the couch about to try and backstab me. So yeah, it's just a bit disappointing.
So pass over to the answer.
What's the matter with your wrist?
Obviously, Darren has a weak. Darren has a very weak left hand, so it sometimes
which bodes me well.
Drop the mic. No.
It might be your left hand, mate. But
that was a work. I hurt it during working out, obviously, in the gym.
Just stop.
With the weights.
Just stop now.
Yeah. No, I'm not. Continue. And they were heavy, and it hurt my wrist, and that's why that is a topic of conversation. Tom,
I haven't had time to assess the fact I'm in the final. I haven't had half an hour to mess around at my desk, so
so
trying to think of fighting talk.
It hasn't sunk in yet.
No, not yet. No, not yet.
Just a load
so
of
there's less
adrenaline
pressure on
just-
me. I think Darren has been building up. He's been thinking, he's like, I'm in the final. What pressure? What a thing to have on my shoulders. I'm just fresh out of battle, going straight back in.
Do you have a build for the Fighting Dwarfs? Do you have a build?
I've got a balanced build, and I'll make some slight adjustments. I imagine, literally in a
20
second.
Cryptoras.
In a second, yeah. I'm just gonna spam Terrorgeists.
Cool.
I'm going for the
Good
guy
strategy.
tactic.
I like it.
Yeah.
So obviously, your entire career has been working up to this moment.
It has been, yeah.
Everything right now.
Yeah.
Darren, obviously, this is what he was born to do.
This is the battle of the content producer.
Yeah. It's pressure. Well, we'll see how
What it's
long it goes.
become.
Got any last fighting words for that man, the one who brought you into this world, apparently?
You were nothing.
You birthed him. he birthed you into CA.
He did, and it's time that it's time for me to overtake him. Nope, neither did I.
No, it's all right. Don't worry. If you're waiting to work out where I'm going with things, we'd never actually get a battle started. So
that's true. Let's go.
Let's
get into it.
Let you get to your PCs.
Thanks. See you in a bit.
That is actually assault.
It was.
Yeah. Call them up for me, please. Grace. Are you ready? We're still ready. So we're going to go into
More
our
than
final.
ready.
Hold on.
Let's do this. I'm ready. I want to see who wins. I want to see who loses.
Right. It's our final of our CA Civil War.
Darren taking on Tom. Could go either way. Popular vote, it's for Darren. Tom came through with Guy, maybe that's changed people's opinions.
Indeed. So, we need to find us a game. We don't actually know what they're calling it.
Would have been good. Would have been good to know that.
It would have been good to know that at the beginning. Yeah, it would, but takes away the fun of it sometimes. What I found. Salt Lord. I saw that. Do you think I'm a Salt Lord?
100%.
100%.
Or maybe not Lord. Maybe like Salt Peasant. Salt Civilian.
Salt
Civilian.
Salt Civilian.
Yeah,
I'm just hungry. I mean, thanks. I mean, what? No, that's a horrible thing to say. Join that game which we won't name and with a password we can't say. Get that one, yeah, that's good. So what did you think of that smack talk? I thought, once again, it was terrible.
I thought there was way too much talk of risks and not enough talk of actually playing the game.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Could have cut a lot of that out.
Could have.
Should
But
have.
we didn't. No, you know, I'm gonna let people talk. I think, but it's better to let people keep digging a hole for them to fall in.
Yep.
Unless you're
That's what
talking
you
about
think
me
you're doing.
talking too much, then
Usually.
shut your mush.
Usually, yes.
How dare you? Then tell me I will talk.
I know.
All right. Well, there we go. Well, I've just been put in my place. I don't really know where to respond anymore.
Who do you think's
thanks,
going to win
Chris.
this matchup?
Are we gonna get into the game now? We are on the Pillar of Bone, and we're gonna have Tom with Vampire Counts taking on the Dwarfs of Darren, and it is going to be one of my favourite maps. Do you remember this one? It's from Quest Battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like this. when you were out in San Francisco. You do this was the Vampire Counts quest battle, wasn't it?
On the live stream?
Yeah. Big live stream we did. Yeah, I did. Because I remember, because I watched Prince of Mastodon get absolutely smashed in it.
That did happen. I was busy trying to moderate 2 Twitch chats at once.
Well, good job.
Thanks.
So we're going to have a look at Tom's army. This is the final for the CA Civil War. His army he has brought 4 units of Grave Guard. He has 4 units of, unless I'm failing the count, which I am, 3 units of Crypt Horrors. He has taken Vlad there. I don't know what magic he's taken. Have a quick look. He's got Raised Dead, and he also has a Necromancer, also with Raised Dead. Behind that he has 4 units of Cav. He has 3 units of Black Knights with Barb. He has Reavers, and he has 2 units of Bats as well, which in my OCD state he is not spread out, which really annoys me, but I'll let him off. Let's have a look at Darren's army. Not much changed from the previous one. We have his 2 Runesmiths and a Rune Lord, with pretty much all the spells you could possibly get. He has his Gyrocopter of Doom with the Brimstone Gun. In his front line he has 1 unit of Ironbreakers with the bombs, which we like. He has 3 units of Dwarf Warriors. Oh, he has, 3 units of Dwarf Warriors. And he has some miners as well. I think they also have blast charges. He has a unit of Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. And he has 2 units of Slayers. One of them is the unit of Renown, which is the Dragonback Slayers. And he has a unit of Hammers at the back as well.
Doesn't appear to have a named Legendary Lord. Doesn't have a named Legendary.
No, he just took a Rune Lord.
I'm not a fan of that. I prefer the ones with names.
I know. No Sternsman for the Vampire Counts. Someone said Hero of the Throne. I agree. He definitely needs one of them. He's thrown in those bats early on to go straight after that Gyrocopter. But he is... looks like the Dwarves are going to have a rush here. Pulling out this Cav. So what he wants to do is engage here and have just a standard fight straight up. So he raises Dead behind and then brings his Cav for a Hammer and Anvil. But he's going to try. Darren's going to try and block that with his units of Warriors of Fire Pass and also the Dragonback and normal Slayers. Oh, look at that bombing run right on top of those Graveguard there. Those bats are chasing.
Yeah, I did get really distracted watching that mini race.
He's going to drop more bombs. Or not. Come on, drop the bombs. Damn, this is bad.
Bats. Caught up.
Yeah, those bats are going to hold them down.
I would not like to be in a gyrocopter and get attacked by fell bats. I feel like that's not a peak situation to be in.
I've decided I do not want to be attacked by bats, full stop.
I mean, it depends on the situation.
Grace there with the statement of century, I guess. Zombies being raised and the front line, which is interesting. Usually you would aim to put that at the back here. These blasting charges that are going to come in from behind breakers. Look at this. This is going to be nasty.
Oof.
At this point, he really needs to get the Crypt Horrors into the combat just to soften that blow here. I'm not sure how I feel about these zombies being raised so far at the back. And we're going to get more bombing runs from the bats.
I do enjoy the bombs. I like them, they're very visual. It's one of the few things where I feel like I get instant gratification from it, you know?
I think so.
You send stuff into melee, it's like, it could be, maybe you're fighting, you throw a bomb down, get to see it.
So he's putting them straight in, and here comes the Slayers. This is going to be nasty.
At the back again, with his wizard.
So if we look right now from the top, you can see this engagement here. The cavalry's come round the back. There's bats. He's getting his lords in as well. This is good engagement by Tom. Maybe took a bit too much damage on the way in. Those Slayers are in combat. He's going to have to pull his cav out as quick as possible because them Slayers are going to cause him a lot of pain. All the oaths have been dropped here. Damage resistance, plus 60 armor, plus 30 armor, and that's the strength of the Rune Lords and the Rune Smiths. So that is a good counter to being hammer and anvil like that. You can see those Reavers have took a lot of damage. Those Slayers doing what they can here. Those Dragonback Warriors are Dragonback Slayers here are in combat.
It's quite a centralized battle this time as well.
But that helps the dwarves because all of big AoEs, you can see the aura here. That's all paying dividends for the dwarves. And you can see that those Crypt Horrors are taking a lot of damage from them Slayers, which are in combat. And this is not looking good for Tom at all. He's doing damage, definitely, but he's losing out where he needs it. Those Crypt Horrors need to stay alive, and right now they've just been sacrificed. And he needs to get Vlad into combat as well. He does a lot of damage.
Vlad is good in melee.
Yeah, very good. You can see those dwarfs are chasing after the Cav here. He's going for hammer and anvil, but that front line is holding. That anvil is not strong enough, really, to hold the dwarfs in place. And
Black
those
Knight's
rune
coming in
smiths.
front of the charge.
Yeah, here we go. Where are they going to go? Well, they can only go one place, and that's into the back of the dwarfs. That's a good, solid charge, though. But I'm not sure if it's too little, too late.
Still trying to see off the gyrocopters. They're all having their own battle.
Yep, they're chasing them off there. You can see, but then again, look, once again, he's got his runesmith over here, runesmith over there, and
Yeah,
both of them are putting
the
down
runesmith placement is really good. They pretty much got the entire battle covered there.
Yep, and every time he tries to pull out of combat here, he gets chased and takes a bit more damage from both slayers. So this is working really, really well for Darren right now.
Those Crypt Horrors need some healing.
They need some loving when it comes to the house spells, and they're not getting it right now. He's got his Necromancer, and he still does have Vlad here, but he's not engaging in combat with
Vlad should be in melee. Like, they would benefit him so much.
Yeah.
He's a great lord in melee. I think that Tom's really making a mistake by not having him more heavily involved and just focusing entirely on the spells here. Like, he has a wizard.
Yeah, most definitely.
He doesn't need Vlad to be filling this role.
Yep, and it's quite painful. He's doing okay over on this flank here, but this flank and the big chunk of where the dwarfs are, they're doing remarkably well, and the units are in there. You can just see constantly every time the fight seems to, be getting a bit one-sided, or anywhere the vampire counts could kind of win. Spells are coming down all the time to try and redress that balance. And that Cav, there you go. It comes in for a charge and then instantly puts down plus 30 armor.
I mean, I think it's all the Crypt Horrors, like, they're not a bad unit to use, but Tom is just not using them correctly.
And look at this unit here. Hammers barely taking any damage here, and these guys are incredibly difficult to deal with. And they're going to make short work of zombies.
So far, leaning towards Darren having the advantage. Personally, I
think you are definitely right. He's doing a lot better. Able to he's got a very simple strategy.
He seems to have the
Gets
control.
surrounded, but it doesn't matter because he spams those the runes.
I say he's got control of the field, and it's really giving him a massive benefit.
Yeah, you can see now the vampire counts are starting to get surrounded. I mean, they have zombies, but they're just not going to do very well against the Iron Breakers, the Hammerers, and the Dwarf Warriors. They are just much, much better infantry.
I mean, the thing that we have to think about is, if Darren wins and his ego gets out of control, are you going to be the one to take him down next
I'll put
week?
him in his place. It's not a problem. Do not worry about that, Grace. I'm the champion.
I just want to see you versus the winner.
One day or ham, but I'm not giving that out unless it's a pay-per-view. So you can see right now Vlad is in combat, and he still has a chance to race off. This is not over yet. Balance of power is still 50-50, and you can see Tom's now using his charges on isolated units of
Felbat's coming
dwarves.
back towards the battlefield as well.
Yeah, which you never know, might be able to turn the tide a little here, because they are going to go for the hammer and
Sometimes
anvil.
it's just those little things.
It is. Every little helps. So what he needs to start doing is isolating units of dwarves. So this unit over here of Dragonback, Ironbreakers, he needs to take them out as quick as possible and try and just slow down these with zombies and so on. Pull out his good troops and use them where he can. Vlad, though, is in combat, and getting him out of there is going to be very, very difficult. But he's going to do a good amount of damage against Rune Lords and stuff, so we'll see how that goes. So you can see he's starting to focus now on those Ironbreakers, but Ironbreakers, Hammerers, and his Lord, all of those are incredibly difficult to deal with, and that's why it's going to be very, very difficult to clean up on this battlefield. And those Warriors Dragonback, sorry, I keep calling them Dragonback. Warriors of Dragon Pass are coming in, they're anti-infantry, and they've already killed 70 people, and it looks like they're coming after some more of us Graveguard. And I'm starting to see some crumbling, and this is not looking good. I think Darren might be our very first Civil War champion here. You can see more runes are being dropped down, plus armor all round. So this here is most definitely going to go in the favor of the Dowie. And over here, those Ironbreakers as well. You can see he's just pulled away all his troops now, away from those Ironbreakers to just fight here. And oh dear.
Nice.
Well, I guess that's one way to end a battle, Tom, is just throw your units all on top of it.
Oh, that Necromancer just got destroyed.
Talking to getting destroyed. Getting hammered, you could almost say. And there you go.
Wow, that puts an end to that.
That was close at times.
It
I think
felt
the
like
engage just did not go with the way that he wanted. So looking at the results here,
Tom lost everyone.
so his cavalry was doing a lot of the work, but what fell down for him was those Crypt Horrors just got isolated and killed so early, and those Dragonback Slayers were able to just pick apart and take those Crypt Horrors to the
Hammers as
field.
well.
Yeah.
A lot of kills.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, a lot of them zombies, but just not able to get into the army. But there you go. So, sit down, guys. I'll come to you in a minute. So,
Eager to have the...
what do you think of our matchups today? Guy versus Tom.
Guy...
What?
Right off.
How do you rank everyone from what you've seen today, Grace?
I think
From 1 to 4.
Dwarfs are the army to go with.
Dwarfs are the army to go with.
I think so. Just spamming those rune lords.
Spamming those rune lords.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you think of that matchup, then? Good? Bad?
I think it was a good match. I think the first one, who was that, Whelan against Darren, that was most interesting. I think that one was quite close. I really liked seeing the matchups. After that, I think they were all a bit more one-sided. I think there's a bit less subtleties in them. Yeah. I think it's more interesting when you're not quite sure how it's going to go. Although I would say MVP is Guy's Ragnarok Queen.
Always. My MVP is going to be the gyrocopter, simply because I did not expect it in any game, and there you go. But then again, you know, big up for my green skins. Yep. Always got to be with them. But he didn't take Wurzag, so that's why he lost. And we all know that. So I'm going to go join the guys on sofa.
I'm
because
done here.
we got a lot to talk about.
Done.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us, Grace. We'll have you back again in the future. Maybe we'll force you into a situation where you got to play.
Maybe.
And then Whelan and other people can sit here and talk about you.
We'll see.
We'll see. So how are you gonna leave us?
I'm gonna leave you by doing the BBC child dance.
Okay. As she leaves like a child.
I'm embarrassed. Don't just show your ass to the camera.
That was the plan.
I'm embarrassed of myself because I messed up.
Where did it go wrong?
When I built my army.
When you built
/
army,
didn't build the army.
Congratulations, Dan.
You knocked a box
knocked over the old world. Like you knocked Tom over in that game.
Indeed. I forgot to take any anti-armor just because I was like, let's just go. And didn't think about maybe putting some great weapons with those Graveguard. So
your strategy against dwarfs is to take a lack of anti-armor.
Yep.
And the only units that were very good at armor piercing, your Crypt Horrors, kind of just throw them in there against the Slayers.
Yeah, I messed up several times.
My interesting strategy is the raising the zombies. What was you chatting with that? Because usually people try to raise zombies behind the enemy lines. Were you trying to bait his satchel charges?
Oh yeah, I was just trying to take a bit of flack off the front, let them take the initial hit. Because I'd realised I pressed start and I was like, oh, I haven't got. Yeah, I was like, oh, I haven't got any anti-armor. Whoops. So then kind of messed up a little bit. And so I was just like, okay, well I'll raise them to take a bit of a hit, and then I raised behind because I tend to go in with the Necromancer and Vlad. So I've got quite a lot of zombies to raise, so I can be a bit frivolous with them.
So where did it all go wrong, other than the armor piercing? Where was it? What did you think you could have done in the 5-0 that could have gone?
I could have used the Crypt Horrors better. I think I dealt with the gyrocopter well with the bats. Took him.
That was hilarious.
Yeah,
like Benny Hill music to that would have been brilliant.
Yeah, the bats. I think I just set them on it and just thought there's literally nothing else I can do with that. So not my problem anymore. And you know my bat, because I thought he might go with a similar build as to the one he went against Whelan. So I thought he might have got a bit of range, so I'll take those bats to hit those as well if needed. But then, so once I didn't see anything else, I was just like, they're just going after the gyrocopter, that's it.
So if you had taken a very similar army, you would have been, you took, I think it would have done quite well against his original build. But
because we went pretty quick, I thought, oh no, he probably hasn't changed it. He's probably just going with the same army. But he didn't. He played me. Yeah, well and truly beaten.
And do you want to say sorry to everyone out there for?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Any of the faith they put in you?
I'm sorry that everything happened.
everything happened. And learning experience. Well, you'll be back stronger for the next one.
Well, I'll just remember next time to bring some anti-armor.
That might be useful against a faction that's all armored, but who knows? Maybe. So let's hear to the champion of the CA Civil War.
Hello. It was easy.
How's it feel? To finally win something.
I kind of already knew that I was going to beat them, so it was just pretty easy. It's just nothing, man. You know, it's just another day at the office.
Another day at the office.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, it's easy to blame the build, but you could have won that, and you didn't. You know, you messed up. Your crypt horrors just sent them straight in. You didn't make any good use of your zombies. Just popped them in. Why not? No thought. Where was the thought?
The zombies had thought.
Didn't feel like
that's
it.
That's why they're zombies. Zombies have no thought. No independent thought. Only the thought of the master, which was you. Unfortunately for them. I like this because you can't really respond. So I'm gonna anyway. I'll let Darren continue his gloating.
Well, basically, right. If what I thought with my army was I'll remove all ranged, okay? Because I assumed when you're fighting vampires, they can just spawn zombies on top of your range to bog you down, and they've like really good cavalry that can just hit into them. So I was like, I'm just not going to go with any of that. Replaced the range I had from previously with slayers to counter anything large he had, and then he made it very easy by sending them straight into the front line. So I just kept them where they were, and yeah, they made short work of them. And the slayers have lots of kills, but it's mostly just the zombies. Where they really did their work was against the large units, obviously. And then yeah, just kept everyone really tight and compact together so that the rune lords could cover off everything they were doing, and just waited. But yeah, it was good play with the bats to bog down my jar bomber. I just really quickly tried to just run over or fly over the battlefield and just drop the bombs because I knew they were gone. There's nothing I could do. So I did that. Actually, thinking about it, probably would have been good to engage them in melee, right in the middle, or in melee, as people say, down in the middle of the combat, and that way the bats would have been forced to come down to that level. So, but apart from that, it was pretty good.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Well, do you know what it means now? That you've won the Civil War in CA.
Oh.
You know what this means?
I should have lost on purpose because I don't want this.
You don't want this. Everyone wants this.
It doesn't even fit.
What, on your head?
It can be custom made. It's a custom made crown.
It has been broken, but it will be reforged.
We're going to reforge it live on stream.
We're going to reforge it.
Do you want a hand?
Do you want to get the tape out? Oh my god. We are putting together this crown to fit on Darren's head.
Chat, who do you think will win versus myself and James? We've never played. Well, actually, we have played twice off camera, and I won both times.
Not Warhammer.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, well, the one where you asked me to throw my army because you needed to record a cool video.
That's what he said.
That one.
I never asked you to throw it,
Sorry,
but he did throw
about that one.
So I think we need to see that grudge match play out next time.
So we're reforging the crown live on air. Hope you guys understand you hear it on the
could have done this before.
Occasion.
No, this is the forging of the crown.
Yeah. Oh. Now we want it on the other side as well. Like, trust me, it keeps popping off my head. Come on, Tom, muscles engage.
Oh my god.
Get the teeth in there. And here as well. Go on, get it all over. I don't trust it.
He's got to wear it for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to wear this for the rest of the week.
Ooh, most of the chat seem to be leaning your way, James.
Well, yeah, I used to be a pro gamer once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah, well, it never really stops. So, on your knees, McNally.
Get on my knees.
Get on your knees for the camera. Congratulations.
Really got to get in there.
Yeah, I did.
Thank you. It fits elegantly. I think most people will agree. It's not ridiculously painful at all for some reason.
So how do you feel being crowned?
I think this is a low point in my career, but yeah, it feels pretty good.
All right.
So yeah, willing to come back and defend my championship now, whenever the next time is.
Well, someone will take that crown from you. I don't know who that person is going to be. I heard he is. I'm reading here from his notes. He says he is. It's fallen already. Just from me, like
that reaction speed, though.
So it says here. Good looking. Amazing at video games.
Are you just reading out my stat sheet?
No, that's mine. What are you on about? Loves to talk about video games.
Himself.
There's a few things on here. I don't know who this person is.
Well, you did just say
it's from Newcastle. So. Anyway, but we'll find out who that person is another time, and he'll come and take that crown off your pretty little head. And until that time, is there anything you want to say to the legions of fans out there?
Thank
the
you.
Darrenaholics?
Thank you for voting for me. I got over 50% of the vote. So 50% of you were obviously dead accurate and knew what was up. What did you get, like 10% or something?
That's correct. I was second voted.
Oh yeah, the votes are actually pretty accurate. So yeah, thanks for the votes.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I've got time to take the crown
Final
back.
words. We should get Guy and Whelan to come in and say
They should,
sorry.
but I mean, by the time the stream
not.
delay comes through,
That's
it'll probably be
true.
over.
It will be, but you can. I can pad
Yeah.
time.
Are we going
we'll
to hope they come through in the next 10
seconds? Yeah, it'll be interesting. Then we'll
seconds?
cut off as soon as they come in. So yeah, Darren.
It was good though. It was good. I enjoyed it, but we're gonna. It's not gonna last long.
I think we should wrap it up now.
I think we should. I think that is the time. Oh.
Oh. Are they coming in?
I heard a stumble.
All right, they're here.
Go on quickly. Time to say goodbye.
Let's all get on the couch.
I just want to point out that you said the vote was accurate, which it isn't, because obviously Guy was the worst contestant.
We'll have a third place match.
Squeeze in.
Third place match.
Not now.
Not
There we go, I
now.
like
That would be
that.
silly.
Until next time. TBC, as they say.
To be continued.
Well,
or confirmed.
These are all the people who took part in the CR Civil War. Obviously, the guy with the crown is the winner, Darren McNally. Thank you for all of you for taking part. It was an interesting set of games. I'm still mad at you.
I know.
Really mad at you.
Look, next time we do multiplayer,
yeah,
you can show me the ropes.
There's only so much time in the day, you know.
Can you remember when you were better than me, Wheels? Remember those days?
We haven't played each other yet, Tom, on
Okay.
stream. I just want to point that out.
We will settle these grudges another time on another Total War Live. Until then, say goodbye, everyone. Thank you for joining us, Total War Live. I'll see you soon. And remember, see you soon.
Total War Warhammer 2 is the second game in the trilogy, and it's building off the successes of Total War Warhammer 1. We look at the whole new area of landmass to the west, and we explore the races they're in, so High Elves, Lizard Men and Dark Elves. We got some very, very positive feedback from our decision to sort of really try and make the races play differently. So
the one thing I
embraced
would
that
have if
throughout
I'd
the
been
DLC
playing, so I would have
for
beaten more,
Warhammer 1,
that's
and we're
next
doing
time.
even more for Warhammer 2.
So the typical process of getting a character to animation actually is quite long. So we start with a concept art of what the character will look like. That then gets modelled with all the polygons. And then my job is putting the movement and personality into that character. The elves have been an interesting challenge in itself because they are all humanoid units. So we have this extra challenge of how do we make them each feel and look different. Lizardmen has been a completely different experience than any other race so far. We tried doing mocap for them and we found that they were pushing too far into the human side, so we went much more animalistic.
The lizard men have these incredible glittering scaled armies of reptiles which start right down with your basic unit, which is the skink. And then you have the saurus, who are much more powerful, sort of 8 feet of hulking reptilian muscle. And then you have more specialised units, so you have things like the pterodons, which are sort of flying units. You have carnosaurs, which are essentially T-Rexes that are occasionally tamed by the lizard men for battle, and stegodons, which act as mounts, and bastillodons as well, which are often outfitted with an array of sort of magical artillery. So on the battle side, we're looking to introduce more variety in Total War Warhammer 2, and one of the ways we're doing this is by examining sort of different and sometimes wilder new terrain types.
We've got very lush jungle, very beautiful but also very dangerous. Deserts with all the hazards that entails, and all kinds of other environments. So it's really looking to get the flavour the Games Workshop have created in their fantasy setting into our game. So the key locations are Ulthuan, the home of the High Elves, Naggaroth, the home of the Dark Elves, Lustre, a jungle region, and the Southlands, which is a mixture of desert, jungle and other environments.
Bringing a fantasy location to life is pretty challenging. There's not much concept out for the landscapes, so we have to read through all the lore books and decipher all the text and make something awesomely crazy with it afterwards. To the lizard men, we have these big, heavy stone structures, but parts of them are floating by magic. For the Dark Elves, one of the key elements are the Black Spine Mountains, and they're surrounded by a large expanse of hardened lava, probably the most diverse area of the map that we've ever had.
So the Great Vortex, which hovers above Ulthuan, is absolutely integral to the storyline of Warhammer 2. Now, the Vortex was forged in millennia past. There was a great chaos invasion called the Great Cataclysm. The Lizardmen, as the first and most ancient race, were the first to fight chaos. And they only just held on, but it was actually the High Elves who forged the Great Vortex and managed to sort of preserve the equilibrium of the world.
You can ignore the storyline, the narrative. You don't have to fight for the Vortex if you don't want. Sandbox gameplay is sacrosanct to Total War.
The player can go in any direction they want, and that's going to be enhanced this time because players can now conquer any territory they want.
We have 2 legendary lords per race, each with their own start position. You can play co-op multiplayer with the same race, and that creates all sorts of possibilities, and it's something the fans have been asking for. What we want people to feel at the end of Warhammer 2 is that I want them to feel they've had an incredible gameplay experience, which is fundamentally Total War and fundamentally Warhammer, but at the same time interesting, new, different and exciting right to the end.